Hello everyone, welcome to our second video on deconstructing reading comprehension for the upcoming prelim examination. Let us first look at the instructions that we have to follow to solve the question. Instruction first, as we have already discussed in the last video, that it is that we have to read the question statement and the option statements as the first thing while looking at the comprehension. We don't have to read the comprehension, we'll have to directly jump onto the question statement and the option statements. Secondly, we will have to eliminate the unreasonable and impractical option statements. Third is that we have to scan the passage quickly, identify broad theme, message of the passage. This can be done very fast once you have mastered this instruction approach and you have looked at the last 5 to 7 years or maybe 10 years of the question papers of UPSC along with the answers keys which have been published by UPSC only, right? And fourth thing, we will have to remove the option statements that are explicitly mentioned or beyond the scope of the passage. Lastly, we will reach towards the most comprehensive, simple and practical option statements looking at the socio-economic complexities of Indian society, the government and administrative complexities of India, the geographical and environmental implication of India's growth story. We will have to arrive at the most comprehensive, simple and practical option statements. So let us look at the question for now. So this is the question. It was asked in year 2023. The question asks, which one of the following statements best reflects what is implied by the passage? Okay, so we have been asked the implication thing. So first thing, we have identified the keyword of the question, which is implied in the passage. Okay, got it. Second is eliminate unreasonable and impractical option statements. So let us read all the options first. Option A says education system must be strengthened in rural areas. Now this statement is quite reasonable, that it is not impractical also, so we will have to keep it on hold. We cannot eliminate it for now. Let's keep it on hold. Read the second one. B, large scale and effective implementation of skill development program is the need of the hour. This also does not seem to be impractical and unreasonable, so this can be put on hold also. So we have not been able to eliminate any of the options as of now. Let's read the option number C. For economic development, health and nutrition of only skilled workers need special attention. Now see, for economic development needs participation from all the section of the society. India being a low skilled economy, a country which is still in the lower developing nation category, with very low per capita income and GDP and all of that, we afford to keep our economic development plans only on the shoulders of developed skilled workers? Obviously not. We will have to seek participation from all the section of the society. So this C option does not seem to be practical. By only focusing on the health and nutrition of skilled workers, no nation, especially like India, can focus on economic development. So this can be easily eliminated. It is not practical and reasonable option to hold. So we have eliminated C. And D says, for rapid economic growth as envisaged by us, attention should be paid to health and nutrition of the people. Okay, so this is also quite a reasonable and sensible option, so we cannot eliminate it. So till now we have eliminated option C only. Okay, let's get to the third thing, that is we have to scan the passage, identify the broad theme and message of the author. This has to be done very quickly. So yeah, let's read it together very quickly. More than half of the Indian women and almost quarter of Indian men of working age suffer from anemia. So it talks about anemia. According to studies, they are anywhere between 5 to 15% less productive. So those who suffer from anemia are less productive than their counterpart. India also has largest tuberculosis burden, so it is talking about another issue, health issue, TB, which is costing 170 million work days to the country annually. So it is leading to productivity loss. But what is, now pay special attention to words like but what is just as important as lost productivity now is lost potential in the future. Now the thing, lost potential signifies the lost potential of India's growth story. It is becoming increasingly clear that on many measures of cognitive ability, malnourished Indian children perform 2 or 3 times worse than their adequately nourished peers. So the children who are malnourished, they are not able to compete with their nourished counterparts. So here also we are losing out. For an economy that will be more dependent on highly skilled workers, this poses a significant challenge, and it is one that really should be addressed given India's demographic outlook. Now, in the last line, what it is saying is what we have to focus is on the addressing the malnourishment, which is leading to the loss of economic growth of the country and its demographic potential. So, what we have identified broad theme. You can what is the broad theme? That poor and compromised health status of the citizens is leading to not only productivity loss but also lost potential of our nation's growth. So this is the broad theme of the passage. Also, the message of the author is that we have to address health and nutrition issues in order to boost the economic growth of the country. This is the message, underlying message of the passage. Okay, so now getting to the our fourth instruction, which is remove the optional statements that are explicitly mentioned or beyond the scope of the passage. Now we have read the passage. Passage talks about malnourishment and compromised health of the people leading to economic growth loss. Now read option A. Education system must be strengthened in rural areas. So the passage nowhere talks about rural areas and the need for strengthening education system there. So this is beyond the scope of the passage, can be eliminated easily. Option B says large scale and effective implementation of a skill development program is the need of the hour. Passage talks about the need for addressing malnourishment issues, need to pay special attention to the health of the people in order to boost the growth. So nowhere it talks about large scale need for large scale skill development and things like that. So it is also beyond the scope of the passage. C, we have already eliminated. Now we have got to the option D, which says for economic growth as envisaged by us, attention should be paid to health and nutrition of the people. So this was basically the message of the author, and it is also aligns with the your broad theme of the passage. And also the fifth instruction, which says the most comprehensive, simple and practical optional statement. D option indeed is the most comprehensive one because it addresses issues from all the sides. For economic growth as envisaged by us, health attention should be paid to health and nutrition of the people. So this is also a practical optional statement, simple one to implement. So hence we have got the right answer, which is the D. So by using this approach, you can solve many of these passage questions easily with utmost accuracy, 95 to 100% accuracy. We will bring more of such videos in the upcoming times. Thanks for watching this video. Do support the channel. Thank you. Happy learning till then.